What if love could heal every wound and justice came not through revenge, but through life itself? The story of Lai Tuck Sam and Officer Lee is proof that resilience and true love can conquer even the darkest past. From years of pain and betrayal, Sam finally finds her happily ever after, blessed with two beautiful children, a husband who cherishes her, and a life filled with peace. Meanwhile, her cruel stepmother and stepsister face the weight of their own sins. Don't miss this emotional journey. Subscribe now and join us as we dive into this unforgettable tale of love, healing, and redemption. Imagine this. After years of enduring countless struggles, betrayals, and silent tears, Lee Tu Sam finally found her long-awaited happiness, not in wealth or fame, but in the warmth of a family she could truly call her own. Standing by her side is Officer Lee, the man who had once been just the quiet protector in the background of her chaotic life, but who became her unwavering anchor through every storm. Their love was not born overnight. It was shaped and strengthened by hardship, healed by forgiveness, and nurtured by trust. Now their lives have blossomed into something so tender, so beautiful, it almost feels like a dream that Sam never wants to wake from. In their cozy home, the sound of children's laughter fills every corner. They have been blessed with two precious little souls, a bright-eyed son full of energy and endless questions about the world, and a sweet daughter with a gentle spirit who brings light into every room she enters. Each child carries the innocence of a new beginning, a reminder that, despite the shadows of the past, life always finds a way to bring hope. Watching them grow, holding their tiny hands, Sam often feels overwhelmed by a joy so profound that words cannot capture it. She sees in them the reflection of her and Lee's love, a love that conquered pain and blossomed into something eternal. Everyday moments, once ordinary, have now become extraordinary treasures for Sam. The mornings start with the aroma of fresh tea drifting through the air, mingled with the soft giggles of her children chasing each other around the table. Officer Lee, in his uniform, often pauses at the door before leaving for duty, planting a gentle kiss on Sam's forehead and ruffling his son's hair while lifting his daughter into a warm embrace. These small gestures, repeated day after day, weave the fabric of their happiness, reminding Sam that true love lies not in grand gestures, but in the quiet consistency of care and devotion. For Sam, this life is not just about survival anymore. It is about living fully, embracing every smile, and cherishing the family she once thought she could never have. The scars of the past remain, but instead of defining her, they serve as proof of her resilience. With Ali by her side and their children as their greatest blessing, she finally knows what it means to be at peace. This is her happily ever after, not written by fate, but built by love. Life in this new chapter feels like a precious gift, a reward for all the pain and endurance that Sam once carried in silence. Each day unfolds gently, not with the chaos of the past, but with the harmony of a family who has learned to value the simplest joys. Officer Lee remains the steadfast pillar of their home, his love not only expressed in promises, but proven in his actions. He carries the weight of his duty as a protector of the city, yet his greatest pride lies in protecting the laughter under his own roof. To him, the world outside may call him officer, but within the walls of their home, he is simply a husband and father, devoted in every heartbeat. Mornings have a rhythm of serenity now. The sunlight pours through the curtains, warming the kitchen where the family gathers. Their son clambers onto his chair, eyes sparkling as he tells stories with the eagerness of discovery, while their daughter, shy yet curious, clings to her mother's side, giggling at her brother's antics. Sam sits quietly in these moments, her heart swelling as she watches her husband guide the children with patience and warmth. It is in these unguarded glimpses, the tender glance Lee shares with her across the table, the gentle way he brushes crumbs from her daughter's cheeks, that Sam realizes how much her life has changed. The cold loneliness that wants to find her world has dissolved into the golden glow of belonging. Sometimes, as she tidies the house or folds tiny clothes, Sam finds tears welling in her eyes. Not from sadness, but from gratitude so deep it trembles through her. She remembers the nights when her heart was heavy, when hope seemed impossible, and she marvels at how far she has come. The home she lives in now is not made of walls and furniture, but of love, trust, and laughter that echo in every corner. Evenings are her favorite. When Lee returns from duty, weary but smiling, the children run into his arms as if he had been gone for a lifetime. Together, they share simple meals, exchange stories, and sometimes just sit in silence, content in the presence of one another. Sam often leans against Lee, listening to his steady heartbeat, knowing it is the same heartbeat that carried her through her darkest hours. With every day that passes, she grows certain. This is not just happiness. It is healing. It is home. It is the life she once only dared to dream of. Now alive and real in every embrace. But while Sam's world blossomed into warmth and love, far away, the shadows of her past began to collapse upon themselves. The very people who once reveled in her suffering, her stepmother and stepsister, now found themselves facing the weight of consequences they could no longer escape. Their years of cruelty, fueled by jealousy and greed, had built a fragile empire of lies, and like glass struck by truth, it finally shattered. The stepmother, once proud and domineering, was stripped of the wealth and status she had clung to so fiercely, and her daughter, who once sneered at Sam with malice, discovered that deceit could not shield her from the emptiness of her own soul. They had mocked Sam for her kindness, calling it weakness. Yet now, as they sat alone in the ruins of their schemes, they realized too late that kindness had been Sam's greatest strength, the very quality that drew others to protect her, love her, and ultimately lift her into a life they could never touch. The irony was bitter. In trying to break her, they had only exposed the darkness within themselves. Sam, meanwhile, had risen above, her resilience and love transforming her fate into something luminous. Word of Sam's happiness reached them like salt poured into wounds. They heard whispers of the family she built with Officer Lee, of the laughter of her children, of the peace she had finally found. Each story was a reminder of what they had tried to steal from her and failed. At night, the stepmother lay awake, haunted by the memory of Sam's tear-stained face, no longer the victim she once believed could be controlled. The stepsister, bitter and restless, blamed the world, but deep inside, she could not silence the truth. Her own cruelty had paved the path to her downfall. For Sam, however, there was no need for revenge. She did not seek their suffering. Life itself had delivered justice in its own quiet, unyielding way. Sometimes, as she tugged her children into bed or leaned against Lee's shoulder under the soft glow of lamplight, she wondered if her stepmother and stepsister ever regretted what they had done. Perhaps they did, perhaps not, but the answer no longer mattered. What mattered was the life she had now, the life that proved no cruelty could ever erase the strength of a heart that refuses to surrender. And so, while her enemies faded into the shadows of regret, Sam walked boldly into the light of her future, her story no longer defined by pain, but by love, healing, and the triumph of a spirit that refused to be broken.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các khán giả của kênh Lý Tử Sam Review. Rất vui vì ngày hôm nay lại được gặp lại các bạn trong tập phim ngày hôm nay. Trong tập phim ngày hôm nay vậy là à, Lý Tử Sam và cảnh sát Ni đã tưởng tượng ra cảnh mà khi Sam và Ni có hai đứa con, đó chính là một trai và một gái, thì sẽ hạnh phúc như thế nào. Và mẹ kế của Sam cùng với em gái con của mẹ kế của Sam sẽ phải trả giá cho những tội lỗi của mình đã gây ra cho Sam ra sao. Tất cả đã được hé lộ trong tập này, và sẽ còn rất nhiều những tình tiết hấp dẫn sẽ được ờ, kể chi tiết trong các tập tiếp theo. Các bạn nhớ bấm vào nút đăng ký kênh để nhận được thông báo mới nhất về các tập phim sẽ được phát sóng hàng ngày vào lúc 7 giờ sáng giờ Việt Nam trên kênh Lý Tử Sam Review nha. Cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại. Bye bye.